I can't believe what a good sport you are about winning time. I just am stunned by what a good sport you are about this. Like you're actually saying I'm enjoying this. Like I mean,
Well, I enjoyed, there's parts of it. Obviously, there were things that were glaringly wrong. Like, for
yeah,
example, my grandmother had passed away before my dad ever bought the team, but they
right.
they kind of kept her around, and I mean, so those were just egregious, like,
Yeah,
inaccuracies. Some of the portrayals of people, were not accurate, but the things that they got right were, kind of blew my mind. John C. Riley had, my dad's mannerisms.
yeah.
He had his wardrobe. He had his comb over.
It has to be
It
kind of
was
weird,
just,
right?
it
Watching it a
was
bit.
bizarre, but in some ways it was, it brought back so many great memories. And I cherish that. And, but finding out that the show is being canceled or not being brought back, it's like losing those memories all over again. And so it's bittersweet. I think that, what I appreciate is what they really highlighted the relationship between Jerry Buss and Magic Johnson. And we had never seen anything like that in sports
Yeah.
prior to that, where you had, somebody, of my dad's, stature and experience, and, you know, bonding with a 20-year-old, you know, uh, athlete. There was just something about them that clicked. And, my dad appreciated how the joy that Magic played the game with. And my dad, was a brilliant businessman, a really great marketer. And he knew that if watching Magic played inspired him, it would inspire people to fill the forum. Because at that time, the Lakers had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but they were drawing, 7 or 8 thousand people.
Right.
He just knew that Magic kind of transcended the sport. And and he was right. And the two of them had a really special relationship, kind of finding each other as soulmates for the game of basketball and how
Yeah.
they wanted it played. And I think that for a new generation of Laker fans that don't know anything about Dr. Buss, it was a really good introduction to
Mhm.
how much he hustled to buy the team, and what he wanted to build, and that he built it, you know, being inspired by Magic Johnson.
I took a opposite approach. I figured Jeannie would be the one of the people who's like, man, I get it, right? Like, yeah, I get it. I
I
wonder,
understand. I get it
yeah,
too,
like
but
I could get down. I'm curious of what you think of your character, and if you could pull her aside a bit, and off the set, would you be like, hey, let's work some of this in here, or how would you coach her up?
Well, I mean, they give me a little bit too much credit. I really wasn't working for the Lakers per se. Um, but I didn't invent the Laker girls. I didn't discover Paula Abdul. Like there was a lot
You
of
gotta
things.
let that ride, Jeannie. Come on, just let that ride. Just let it go. Just let it. Yeah, don't refute it. Just let it exist.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that I mean, it's I can I it's just surreal to see, somebody play you on television with your name. And they'd done research as to the nicknames that my dad called me. And so my dad's character would call my character by my nickname. And like, to hear someone say Jeanie Pie, like, I haven't heard anyone say that since my dad was alive. That's what he called
right.
me, Jeanie Pie. And to hear it on television, and I mean, it's just strange.
I having been a part of the Jordan thing, I try to explain this to people because I think you're really saying it. It's not that it's verbatim everything that Michael Jordan says happened. No, it not, but it was great to show people it was kind of like that, right? It was sort of like that back then, and that's what I think is great about Winning Time is that it really was sort of like that. Like the Lakers were so big in the 80s. Like I don't think people understand, even with everything that's happened
No, they
since.
don't. There's no way they understand. Like
they don't understand how big the Lakers were. Like
Jeannie,
I was a
my
kid
aunt,
in Washington going, wow, would I love to go to the
listen,
Forum Club. Like
Jeannie, my aunt used to run around the house screaming. We're in East Oakland. She'd run out top of her lungs. Her name was Gail. Laker used to drive us nuts. She'd just be screaming. Man, like it was unbelievable. I didn't even understand. I'm like 7. I'm like, why is this woman yelling like this? But she was like a diehard Laker fan in Oakland in like 84. Like, I don't think people understand how big the Lakers were.
Well, was it because of Magic or was it because of Byron?
No, it was Magic. She loved it was magic, all Magic.
Yeah. All due respect to Byron, who's a great player, but no, it was Magic. Come on. Everybody loved Magic. Like, how could you not love Magic? Like he was central casting. He's out of central casting.
Yeah, and I thought the casting of his character, I mean, the kid had magic smile, his little, twinkle in his eye. Like that's hard to cast. I mean, I can't imagine if that show had continued. How do you cast Shaquille O'Neal? Like it's
right.
And to find a Kareem, Solomon Hughes, who plays Kareem, is not Solomon Hughes, Solomon. Anyway, I'm blanking on his name, the actor's name.
Right. No, Solomon Hughes. You got it right. Solomon Hughes. Yeah.
Okay.
You had me thinking Solomon Hill. I'm like,
that's I crossed wires there for a second. I'm like, no, that's the guy that when LeBron got hurt, it was
right. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So,
no, that's him.
So, I mean, to have those two parts filled and the Larry Bird character, I thought that was great. Yeah. And it made me appreciate Larry Bird so much, I mean, we hated him so much in LA, like it's just hard to even think about. And just, to see his backstory and, how he, what happened with him in the game, what a special athlete he was, and trash talker. So I mean, it was fun. And I think even watching Pat Riley, the evolution of the Pat Riley persona that, I mean, people forget he was like Chick Hearn's radio partner, that he ever did that. Right. And he just happened to kind of be at the right place at the right time and, got into coaching. Like, what if that had not happened? Would he have avoided coaching altogether? I mean, he was meant to coach the Lakers.